So amazing for me how animals play such a huge part in humans' lives all over the world. Dogs, cats, horses play a huge part in humans' lives. Let's look at some interesting animal videos, starting with the sound of a blue whale breathing, just the huge, awesome sound as those lungs take in the air and expel the air. So fascinating here. Are you ready to hear the loudest bird in the world? Fascinating, 125 decibels. I think above 85 decibels starts damaging your ears. So obviously everyone knows about certain industries where you make a lot of money out of training and riding animals, obviously like racehorsing. But do you know how much money is made riding bulls? I think they get $1 million for every 8 seconds they stay on bushwhacker. Watch bushwhacker here. That's about 20 million rand if you can stay on him for 8 seconds.
This was pretty darn impressive for Dustin Elliott. Stepped up and took him, and that's the best ride that I've seen started on bushwhacker in a long time. Look at the amount of height this bull's getting. Unbelievable. This bull can just simply do things that other bulls cannot do.
Guys, so quickly to interrupt, you see the clock at the top there? I think he stayed on for about 5.83, maybe he's not quite off yet, but he'll be off soon, I think maybe 6.1 seconds. All he has to do to earn his 20 million rand approximately is stay on for 8 seconds. Imagine saying that. All you have to do to make your 20 million rand a year is work for 8 seconds. That's quite a good deal. So of interest to me is falcon racing in Dubai. A gentleman that works with me with my falcons, Nick Aitchison, said let's go and enter the Dubai falcon races with our falcons because they're brilliant falcons and we can win $1 million on one race.
سيف غانم مع الجي 33 هذه الجي 33 يا مشاهدين. سيف غانم يلا يا ابو غانم اتمنى لك كل التوفيق يا ابو غانم. بسم الله عليك. سيف غانم يحاول وهذا خطير. المجرن غير سيف غانم ولكن ابغي شيء غير. نقول سيف غانم لا مروان بن احمد شوفوا سيف مركز رابع لكن قراميش مروان ثنتين والام 7 كان غير سير غير. يلا انت الحين في المركز التاسع. بسم الله وعلى بركة الله ما شاء الله تبارك الرحمن. الاول هو يبدل مروان ومروان بدل ام 7. مروان بدل ام 7 وام 7 بدل مروان بدل ام 7 وام 7 بدل مروان. يا رباه والله خطير مرغم زعبل مرغم تنادي والله خطير. مروان يؤسفني ان ابلغك ان هناك خطر. يا رباه شوفوا مركز ثاني والله سلام.
So guys, what about breeding rare snakes? Look at this guy with his baby cobras. They seem so cute, but don't be deceived. These snakes, I think all poisonous snakes from birth are poisonous. But people make huge amounts of money in breeding rare animals like these cobras.
Welcome back to yet another episode. So, as you can see, I have totes lined up for days. Me and Brian just got done setting these up because the babies are finally here. So it's been now, I believe, 3 years since I have produced monocle cobra babies. So this year we had 19 eggs laid. All 19 eggs hatched. So there's 18 in this tote. We're gonna take these guys out and actually look at them. All right, look at these little guys. Oh, you're so cute. Yes, you are. Woo! So feisty. Come here. There's one. There's two. Oh, look at them. Well, they're all hooded up now. Boom. You guys are so cute. Here, let me move the mic here so you guys can hear them. Nope, that's my foot. That's my foot too. Baby cobras everywhere. Ah! Look at them all. I think that's all of them. Yeah, that's all of them. So I already started doing some pre-sales on these guys, so if you are interested on them before I actually start posting them online for sale on like Fauna and King Snake, make sure you message me on Instagram because I think I've already sold 3 pairs of these guys and a couple of singles, so they are going to go very, very fast. I was only hoping to sell maybe 1 or 2 pairs in pre-sales, but a lot of people were interested in these.
Okay, let's talk about identifying the wrong people to make your friends, and also as you guys grow older, the wrong people to court and see maybe could this person be a marriage partner. This is very important. The people you associate with, good or bad, will have a huge influence on the happiness of your life, in your work environment and in your friends.
What are some of the red flags then that both men and women can look out for? I presume if you walk in, and from what you've just said, and you walk in and their place is a mess, it shows you that their headspace is a mess, right?
Yeah.
And I presume that if their body's in a mess, then presumptively your mind's in a mess too.
Mm-hmm.
What other things should people look out for?
Their decision making in general, and this involves everything. What kind of decisions they make with their money, with their time, with everything they do. You look at their decision making. Now, if their decision making is responsible, it's sensible, it wants the best for them, and it helps them achieve their potential.
Who is at the controls of their mind? You can see by what comes out of their mouth in conversation, never mind their actions, if their minds work right or it's a catastrophe. This is so critical. Decision making. I actually call it their mind works right, or how their mind works. I don't think young people are taught to analyze people when they're talking to people, to analyze what's going on Instagram, on their Facebook. And in general conversations, you can see their minds do not work right. Their grasp and application of logic does not work right and is not skilled and brilliant. Find people in business, relationships, whose minds work brilliantly, because a lot of things flow from that control system. Is it a skillful, kind, wise mind, or is it a vindictive, negative, selfish mind?
What other things should people look out for?
Their decision making in general, and this involves everything. What kind of decisions they make with their money, with their time. But if their decision making is so chaotic, or it doesn't add up, like one minute they're so good at business, but then they choose the most toxic partner in the world, or they're so good in their relationship, but then they gamble on the side. It's like there's something in your decision making.
So guys, we can talk a bit about making the right friends and being careful not to be tricked or conned by someone's outward appearance, but be looking at the inside of a person and how they behave to see who your friends and associates must be. Now they talk about love here, and obviously you can have love for children, for friends, for your wife, but this kind of love comes from the same principles and base.
True love, in its purest essence, is about understanding, commitment, and appreciation for the character and worth of the other person. It's about admiring and valuing not only who your partner is today, but also the person they are becoming.
This is very, very important. Who is your partner, your husband or wife becoming? take a serious look at the daily routine of growth, obviously Bible study, prayer, the activities the person is partaking in. Your partner, you might think, is a great partner now, but if they're negligent and lazy, they don't really do growth. They watch a whole lot of series and TV programs. They're kind of lazy. They don't develop themselves. That will go downhill over time. It's very important before you start courting someone, and especially marrying someone, seeing where this person is going to be in 30 or 40 years. Because apart from just having a nice time and having someone in your life, which we all want, at the end of the day, you would want someone you can respect, admire, look up to, that helps you. Look at this quote at the bottom. My father told me her mindset will raise your children, not her body and good looks. Choose wisely, and also her mindset will dictate the quality of the relationship as well. Do not just look at good looks. And that does not just go about the now, but what are the things they are doing in growth, Bible study, prayer, development that will make them into the person they will be in 30 years, because that's the person you're going to be married to.
Remember that your well-being and happiness greatly depend on the relationships you choose to nurture. Allow me to remind you that love doesn't only extend to your partner, but should also radiate towards yourself. True love, in its purest form, involves loving another person the same way you love and respect yourself.
So let's just look at this scripture. Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. Knowing which people to avoid, people that really are going to negatively affect God's work in your life, is an extremely important thing. Remember, you must honor the time and the life God has given you. Guys, honoring the time God has given you and not wasting it by giving it to the wrong people who want to negatively impact you. Look at the quote there at the top left. This is the key to time management, to see the value of every moment. And then top right, the price of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it. And then William Carey at the bottom, I'm not afraid of failure, I'm afraid of succeeding at things that don't matter. Too much socializing, too much wasting your time with the wrong friends is so destructive because it steals literally your life. Listen to that message there of that great Christian missionary, William Carey. This does not go about you trying to be as rich and successful as possible, but you must honor the work God has given you on earth. And if you don't avoid certain people, the Bible tells us to avoid certain people, you are not honoring what God has given you. All these very beautiful guys and girls are so fantastic when you give them what they want. But many of them, when you give them what they don't want, it looks like the manifestation of a demon. But you judge someone when they get what they don't want. That is when you judge them. So you'll see two clips here. One girl, seemingly a nice girl, gets a double life sentence for killing her two friends. Now, why am I showing you guys someone that's getting a double life sentence at 18? Because you guys are going to an age period of your teens now where you can make wrong friends that are going to lead you down the drain. Don't let looks deceive you. Look how cute and kind and sorry this girl looks and how innocent she looks, but she murdered her two friends. Guys, this is quite extreme, although it happens quite a lot around the world. But in a smaller way, in drinking, smoking, sexual immorality, swearing, all kinds of wickedness is going to be bombarded upon you in your teen years and on, and you got to be able to resist and pick the right friends.
The defendant controlled all the events. She chose the day. Specifically, she chose a day just before her 18th birthday. She chose to drive the car, the time to drive the car. She chose an obscure, previously scouted route through an industrial parkway. She chose the target to hit and the victims. She chose the means and the method to follow through. And she planned and purposefully executed the events of July 31st, 2022. So she's sentenced on count 2, the murder of Davion Flanagan. 15 years to life. She's sentenced on count 1, the murder of Dominic Russo, 15 years to life, to be served concurrent to each other.
These next photos are photos of criminals. They obviously have varying sentences, but look how decent they look. They don't even look like criminals. That's why it's so important to know how to judge people.
Never give more of yourself to someone who isn't willing to do the same for you. Preserving your self-respect, valuing yourself and recognizing the right moment to move forward are essential to maintaining a healthy heart, even if it's a painful process. Keep in mind that if you're not happy and your partner's actions continue to hurt you even after discussing it without seeing changes, the pain will only prolong, and bit by bit you'll lose your own respect.
Take action, guys. Leave the wrong people. Look at this quote. If peace comes at the cost of your needs, your voice, or your feelings, is it really peace or is it silence? So where people just keep quiet and carry on going, if nothing changes, they will sit in the same bad position for the rest of their life. Leave the wrong people.
You are much greater than your fleeting feelings and emotions. You have the power to decide how to react to a separation. You can choose to keep your head up, learn from the experience, and continue your journey with greater wisdom. Seek a connection that goes beyond the surface, one that endures through time, remains solid and vibrant despite the years. Channel your energy into discovering a life partner who stands out for their intelligence, a person capable of becoming your best friend, a trusted advisor, a solid support in the face of adversity.
Look what Galileo said, the laws of nature are written by the hand of God in the language of mathematics. Okay, a bit about science, guys. Do you know what kind of science goes into dissolving pills? Because imagine swallowing a pill and you really struggle to dissolve it, or it doesn't dissolve properly, or as it dissolves, it destroys the chemicals that are needed to heal you in your body. The dissolving system of pills is extremely important. Watch these pills dissolving. Science, 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 the love of the sciences in its multifaceted, amazing creation by God. God created all these forces and this mathematics that governs these things. Look what Galileo said, the laws of nature are written by the hand of God in the language of mathematics.
This tiny object holds immense power. A bullet consists of several crucial components that work together to make it function. First, we have the bullet itself, also known as the projectile. It's typically made of lead or a lead alloy, designed to be aerodynamic and penetrate targets effectively. Next, we have the casing, which houses the bullet. It's usually made of brass or steel and serves as a container for the other components. The casing also provides a seal to prevent gas leakage. Now let's talk about the propellant. This is a chemical mixture, commonly gunpowder, located inside the casing. When ignited, it rapidly burns, producing high-pressure gases that propel the bullet out of the firearm. When the trigger is pulled, it initiates a series of actions. The firing pin strikes the primer, which is a small explosive located in the base of the casing. The primer ignites, creating a spark that sets off the propellant. As the propellant burns, high-pressure gases rapidly build up behind the bullet, forcing it down the gun barrel. Once the pressure reaches its peak, the bullet is propelled forward, exiting the barrel at high velocity.
Select launch in T-minus 3, 2, 1, 0.
To ensure the safety, security, and reliability of the United States nuclear weapons stockpile, Sandia National Laboratories conducts extensive modeling and full-scale testing. This video shows one of the many tests Sandia conducts using an inert unit to ensure our nation's nuclear weapons are safe, secure, and reliable. 4 Nike rocket motors accelerate a massive steel and concrete target down Sandia's rocket sled track. The reverse ballistic configuration allows the test team to stream sensor data out of the test unit through the orange cable bundle, which is routed to a hardened mobile instrumentation unit that records the test events. The test unit is suspended from above to allow target impact to be representative of impact conditions. Safety is paramount. Operations are remotely controlled from a hardened bunker. All possibilities are planned for.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
The massive target is accelerated down the track into the test unit. Moments before impact, flashbulbs illuminate the camera view. The event itself is only a few hundredths of a second. Sensors, gauges, and quantitative high-speed imaging systems provide data for the supercomputer models. At these impact speeds, almost nothing remains. The test was performed successfully, capturing all data as planned.
Choices, 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 guys. Look at these guys. The guy here on the left with the big stomach is younger than the guy on the right at 54. Both of them are older than me. This is a real wake-up call for me. I want to look like that guy at 54, but that takes making the right choices and suffering for what you believe in, eating less, learning more, growing more, stop wasting time, all the facets of how you develop a human being. It's not lose weight to get healthy, it's get healthy to lose weight. Look at these quotes, guys. You can't fix your health until you fix your diet. What a difference. Look at the difference. The plate on the left, 507 calories. The plate on the right, 1,028 calories. Do you spot the difference there on the right plate? On the right corner, that little blob of, what is that, peanut butter? Make the right choices, guys. Spot the difference here, guys. Plate method, portion control. Look on the left, half plate veg and half plate starch. But on the right, they just changed it a bit. Half plate veg, only quarter plate starch. The right decisions. Spot the difference. On the left, 730 calories. On the right, 370. Big difference. What is the difference there? Less of the cheese in the little bowl above, and using rather vegetables instead of the pasta to replace the pasta. Also the right decisions in how you spend the day. Use your day outside doing fun things rather than inside the whole time. Control the door to your mind as well. What consumes your mind controls your life. Your body becomes what you consume, your mind becomes what you consume. Be careful with how you feed both. If our mind is pure, our desires get manifested quickly. Watch out what you feed your mind. Look and think upon the purest, most loveliest things on earth, and stay away from wicked things.
I heard that if you crack an egg at the bottom of the ocean, something crazy happens. So I wanted to try it out. First, I got my egg, and then I went to the bottom of the ocean. It's about 45 feet deep here. I checked to see if it would float back up, and it actually sinks. When I went to crack it, I realized my thumbnails weren't that strong, so I went back to the surface for a breath. Oh, hey, Brittany, look at the rainbow. Anyways, I went back down, and I cracked it open with the other camera, and as I pull it apart, you can see the clear part of the egg sticks to the top. I wanted to make sure that the egg all stayed together, so I slowly peeled away pieces of the bottom shell until it would fall out. Okay, I got it. Now I have this cool floaty egg. Look at me and my egg friend. This is so crazy. He's just chilling. I was running out of breath, so I went up again. And when I looked down, this fish was stealing my egg. Bruh, can you not? He scurried away as I swam back down, and all that was left was bits and pieces. I tried to pick it up, and obviously that didn't work. I'm gonna try this again, and next time I won't let a fish steal my egg. Okay, that's all the stuff we saw. Bye.
Now, I was tagged in this way too many times not to respond. I think people expect me to have a little bit of beef with the machine, but I don't. But I can't just leave you guys with that. We're gonna have to do some kind of a speed challenge. Now, I saw they sped their video up. I'm not gonna do that. Let's get to it. Light work.
These are obsidian blades, and they are one of the sharpest objects on Earth. I created these blades by striking a piece of obsidian with another stone. Let's cut some stuff with obsidian. Look how easily the obsidian slices through the tomato. I also wanted to get some really thin slices, and it had no problem doing that. One of the disadvantages of an obsidian blade is that it's usually not that straight, so it's harder to get super thin cuts. This piece that I have right here, I was able to get a really thin slice of the banana regardless. One of the blades I had looked like a claw, and I wanted to see how well it would cut through paper, and it did really well. Then sliced and diced a grape with the obsidian blade, and it seemed to cut through really easily, and the skin didn't get damaged in the cuts. I think it would be really interesting to look at these cuts underneath a microscope. Let's use the obsidian to cut some tough leather. After all this cutting, our blade took very little damage. Let's make an obsidian spear. I first start out by breaking the piece of obsidian with antler or a round stone. Each time I break the obsidian, it becomes flatter and more two-dimensional. I am also keeping shape in mind, and I am making sure that we are working towards a triangular shape. It's time to use the other end of the tool that I was using to strike pieces off to press pieces off of the edge. With the shape complete, it's time to add notches to the base of the spearhead so it can be wrapped securely to the spear shaft. The last step is to sharpen the spearhead before we secure it to the spear shaft. I heat up a glue made from pine sap and charcoal dust, which acts as a hot melt glue. With the glue still hot, I secure our spearhead into the spear shaft and let it cool. Once the glue has hardened, I wrapped the obsidian spearhead with deer sinew. Now that the sinew binding has dried and tightened, the spear is complete.
I'm going to try to land this blade
on this tiny helipad. It's 56 stories high, and I only have 27 meters. That's roughly 14 times shorter than the world's shortest commercial runway. I need to start training. This outline is exactly the same size as the helipad. Let's see if I can do this. All right, let's make history.
Red Bull ground, radio check. We're ready. Okay, so I'll try another one.
Okay, sounds good. I'll let him know.
Dart is on bullseye.
Bullseye, my friend! That was perfect!
We made history, man. We made history.
That was beautiful all the way. Good job! All right, guys. 3, 2, 1. Friend, that is what I wanted to see.
Guys, be creative in your career. Look at this guy climbs and replaces light bulbs on these amazing towers, and these people apparently get paid a lot.
This man is paid an insane amount of money for changing a light bulb. The tower is 1,500 feet or 457 meters. Twice a year he climbs this television antenna with a fresh light bulb, changes it and climbs down. This is so that the passing airplanes can see the tower located in South Dakota, and for this he is paid $20,000 per climb.
How's that? 400,000 rand a climb, almost R500,000 rand a climb, or would you rather ride Bushwhacker for 20 million rand on 8 seconds to stay on?
This was pretty darn impressive for Dustin Elliott. Stepped up and took him, and that's the best ride that I've seen started on Bushwhacker in a long time. Look at the amount of height this bull's getting. Unbelievable. This bull can just simply do things that other bulls cannot do.
So you guys remember this guy challenged the robot to table tennis. Now he's challenging the same robot to kind of an instrument made out of glasses with various levels of filled water. And to end off with Galileo's quote, "The laws of nature are written by the hand of God in the language of mathematics." No matter how complex it becomes, no matter if you guys build robots one day, all the science, all this mathematics was laid down first and foremost by God, and we are just discovering it and using what God has created. Praise be to Him, His Son, Jesus Christ, and our beloved Holy Spirit. Thanks so much, guys.